Welcome back to the pregame show. The RoughRiders taking on the Midland Rockhounds and starting a homestand here today at 7 o'clock start. And I'm joined here by Brett Nicholas. Brett, welcome back here to Doc Pepper Ballpark. How'd you feel on the road trip?
Road trip was all right. You know, we didn't come back with as many wins as we were shooting for when we went out there, but it was a nice way to get a 2 wins in Corpus Christi, who's we think is the best team in the league. And it's nice to get there and split a series there and then come back and hopefully use that as momentum.
And you were a big part of the offense over the weekend, especially yesterday, hitting your 8th home run, 4 driven in on the day. Alex talked to you earlier in the season, and you told him you didn't really think of yourself as much of a power hitter. That's clearly proven not the case here this year. Do you have any explanation for your power? You're now tied for your home run total from a year ago already.
It's just trying to stay with the approach and just trying to stay in those gaps with line drives. And fortunately enough, I've got some that have kind of gone a little higher and been able to sneak out of the ballpark. I'll still say it. I'm not a home run guy. I'm a gap-to-gap guy who will run into a couple every once in a while. But it's as the season progresses, I definitely expect more doubles and just trying to stay with line drives and help the team out.
Do you feel like the ball's flying off your bat more in batting practice and in general? I mean, are there swings that you used to think were going to hit the wall that are going out, or balls that you think would get caught that are going over guys' heads? Do you feel like your body's producing more power this year?
Not as much. I think during BP, it's been kind of about the same. Just trying to stay with that approach of staying up the middle. I think during the game, the difference is I'm being more selective at the plate. So instead of swinging at that ball that may be a strike, but it's away, I'm waiting for them to try to come in and sneak one in there, and I'm not missing it luckily right now, and just gonna try and ride that wave and keep it going.
Joined here by Brett Nicholas on the pregame show. And Brett, that approach is so important for you considering where you're hitting in the lineup. You've been 3rd or 4th for pretty much the whole season. What's that adjustment been like for you considering, your first year at AA and whether or not your track record speaks for itself? That spot of the lineup is always one that opposing pitchers are going to take notice of. How important has it been for that approach, and are you seeing more off-speed stuff? Has it helped you? Has it hurt you?
I think it's helped me a little bit because it's made me focus a little bit more. Being in the middle of the order guy, you're not going to get as many pitches on the plate. You just need to be a little more selective, and so it's made me be a little more focused going up to the plate, not just assuming they're going to throw the first pitch a strike, but sitting there. All right, my approach is I want something hard away from me, and I'm sitting there and sitting on that one pitch, and as long as I stay focused, good things will happen, and I'll be able to keep helping out the team.
And you've been feasting on right-handed pitching. Left-handed pitching has still been a little bit of a challenge for you, but that's true of a lot of lefties. I mean, there's guys in the major leagues that have made big, long careers without the ability to really hit left-handed pitching well as a left-handed hitter. Talk a little bit about what you're trying to do up there against lefties right now, what you're working on, and what's been difficult this season about facing left-handed pitching.
I think I've just been trying to they hang a slider or something, and that's the kind of the pitch I'm going up there sitting on a lot of times, especially with the reliever coming in. They hang a slider, and instead of just taking it and hitting it right back at the middle, I try to get a little too big and I foul it off, and then once I get behind, it's pretty hard to come back against, especially quality lefties in the bullpen. Ironically enough, I think if you were to look at my track record, I think I actually have a better average career-wise against lefties than I do against righties. We just haven't really faced that many lefties this year, especially playing Corpus as much as we do. They've got 8 starters, all righties, and they've got a couple lefties out of the pen, but you don't see their pen guys very much. So, I think once the season goes along and we see a few more lefties, I'll be able to make my adjustment and narrow that gap between the differences.
I want to go back a couple weeks, Brett. You had a grand slam here on a Sunday. The team was down 3-0, really an offensive scuttle that hadn't scored in 15 innings, and you give the team a lead with one swing, and you guys go on to win the game, play a lot better baseball over the next week. How did you feel after that hit? You came back to the dugout. What did that do for your team and lift the spirits of this group? And was that one of the bigger hits you can remember as far as over your career? How important and momentum swinging that swing was?
Yeah, I definitely think so. It was one of the more memorable moments of my career, definitely. Coming back into the dugout, we were just kind of dead that whole day, and we had some opportunities, but we kept getting picked off on the bases. So we weren't doing as bad as we thought, but every time we got a guy on, I think we got 5 guys on, 5 guys picked off. So we were struggling on the bases, and I think that home run really helped lift the team, and I was just excited I could be a part of it, let alone the one that hit it, because it did, being as young as we are, we really feed off of each other, and hitting really is contagious, and I think that kind of gave some momentum to the team for the rest of the homestand. And it just takes one guy, and everything will come around. We're just, like I said, we're very young, very talented, and we'll feed off of each other and success, and it'll just, it'll keep going.
Well, you literally almost made a big splash, just missed the pool out there by a few feet. I want to talk about another game that you guys had here at home. It was a game you didn't play, and that's been pretty rare. You've been out there in the lineup almost every single day. That 40-degree day, though, you were sitting here on the bench and talked to a lot of the guys. They said they couldn't feel their hands. They were going up there swinging almost at everything just to get out of the box as quickly as they could. What was it like for you sitting here on the bench? At least those guys got to run around a little bit. Saw Jared Hoying do jumping jacks out in right field. How hard was it to sit here when you knew you probably weren't going to play, maybe get a late pinch hit at best, and you got to sit here in a wind tunnel of a day where it's nearly freezing?
I actually was a bullpen catcher for that day, so my hand was getting beaten down down there with all the pitchers coming at me. Mendez came in, he throws really hard, so the first couple just felt like it was just breaking my hand. But I tell you what, that speaks to the team. Even though it was cold out, it was a huge win, because you never want to play in a game like that with the temperature. But you never want to lose in a game like that. And the fact that we were able to come out with a win, there's some positive there, where the other team, they played in a cold day and they lost. There really was nothing good that they did that day, unfortunately. But to come out for a win, that was a huge win for us. And I think we'll look back on that, especially come near the All-Star break when we're fighting for a division title, that win will be a big win for us.
Well, hopefully yesterday was one as well. You guys picked with a victory against Corpus Christi, and hopefully swing into the right momentum here as you start the homestand. Good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
I was Brett Nicholas here on the pregame show. We'll be back with more here on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.